Canvas.
Here. Commissioner Hill.
Here.
And participating via telephone, Commissioner Houseman.
Here.
I'll go ahead and declare that our quorum is established. Now I'm going to ask for approval of the minutes from the June 15th, 2023 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections, Commissioners? Hearing none, I'll call for the motion.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. They are approved. So now, will you give us a staff report, executive director's report?
Absolutely.
Mr. Small, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First off, I'd like to introduce a couple new hires. Miles Barrage. Miles graduated from Central State University with a bachelor's in business administration. While attending Central State University, Miles was a recipient of the United States Department of Agriculture 1890 National Scholars Program, a difficult and prestigious program to enter and maintain. Before accepting the field auditor role with the commission, Miles worked with Charles Schwab, where he was a fraud investigation specialist. He's a wonderful asset to the team, and we are excited to have him. Welcome aboard, Miles. Thank you. I would also like to call up Joshua Cooley.
Joshua's not here today. He was on.
Okay, sorry. Joshua graduated from Indiana State University with a bachelor in legal studies and additionally obtained an associate's in accounting from Ivy Tech Community College. Before accepting the field auditor role with the commission, Joshua was serving as the senior finance coordinator for the national not-for-profit Project Lead the Way, an organization that helps support STEM programs through schools across the country. Joshua is currently on a path toward his certified management accountant certification. He has a wealth of knowledge and expertise in the financial field. And again, we're excited to have Joshua as part of the audit team. I'd also like to announce another new hire in our sports wagering division, our program coordinator, Angelise Calzada. Angelise is currently a graduate student at the University of Indianapolis, where she is working toward a master's degree in sports management. She moved to Indiana in July of this year from St. Louis, Missouri. She has a Bachelor of Science in Health Management from Southwest Missouri State University. She hopes to attend law school and study sports law. We have a number of promotions to announce. First off, Supervisor Jack Miller has been promoted to become the supervisor at the Terre Haute Casino and Resort. Lloyd Hawkins has been promoted to assistant supervisor at Terre Haute Casino and Resort. Robert Schmidt has been promoted to supervisor at Bally's Evansville. Jade Hall has been promoted to assistant supervisor at Bally's Evansville. And Stephanie Gardner has been promoted to program coordinator in the enforcement division. And lastly, Michelle Parker has been promoted to field auditor 1 in the audit division. And one piece of sad news, Agent Joey Wainscott passed away on September 13th, 2023, due to it was a long battle with illness. And on behalf of the commission, I'd like to present our condolences to the Wainscott family.
Please submit that to the record.
That concludes, well, let's move to reinvestigations.
Yes.
Our investigations division has completed reinvestigations for licensees Amelco UK Ltd, Canby Group PLC, GeoComply Solutions Inc., and Genesis Gaming Solutions Inc. The confidential reports are in your materials. Directors Brown and Leak are present should you have any questions. Moving to exclusions. Since the June 2023 business meeting, commission staff has added 17 individuals to the exclusion list. With these additions to the list, the total now stands at 1,008 individuals. And lastly, waivers. The IGC has granted 18 waivers to Indiana casinos since the previous meeting. This information is included in your materials and will also be posted to the commission's website. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that report. Any questions of our director, commissioners? And we're going to move forward with administering an oath. All those are going to have some business and present before the commission today. Would you please stand? Mr. Small, would you administer the oath, please?
Yes. I state your name. do hereby solemnly swear, subject to the penalties of perjury, to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, any old business for the commission? Any new business you'd like to report? Hearing none, we're going to go into our license renewals. Mr. Neal?
Good morning, Commissioners, executive staff. First, you have before you Order 2023-113 pursuant to Indiana Code Section 43378 and 68 IAC Section 228. A supplier's license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $7,500 renewal fee. Each of the following licensees has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment: GeoComply Solutions, Gaming Partners International USA Incorporated, Every Games Incorporated, GLP Capital LP, Pala Interactive LLC, Galaxy Gaming, NYX Digital, and Global Surveillance Associates. Approving Order 2023-113 would have the effect of renewing the license of each of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And Commissioners, next on the agenda, you have before you Orders 2023-114, 2023-115 regarding the renewal of Blue Chip and Rising Stars casino owners' licenses respectively. Blue Chip and Rising Star both filed the proper paperwork and paid their renewal fee. And previously, by Orders 2022-132 and 2022-133, the Commission had approved the written power of attorney for both Blue Chip and Rising Star. These approvals expire upon the renewal of the casino owner's license, and for that reason, all casinos must request renewal of the Commission's approval of that written power of attorney concurrently with the request for renewal, or it may present the Commission with a new written power of attorney, naming a new trustee in waiting. Blue Chip and Rising Star both stated their intent to maintain their existing trustees in waiting and have not presented the Commission with any modifications to their power of attorney. Approving Orders 2023-114 and 2023-115 would have the effect of renewing the license and approving the power of attorney for both Blue Chip and Rising Star respectively for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And next you have before you Order 2023-116 pursuant to Indiana Code Section 43881. A certificate of authority must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $50,000 renewal fee. Each of the following certificate holders has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment: Ameristar Casino East Chicago LLC, Centaur Acquisition LLC doing business as Horseshoe Indianapolis, Indiana Gaming Company LLC doing business as Hollywood, Hoosier Park LLC doing business as Caesar Racing Sportsbook Indianapolis, Horseshoe Hammond LLC, Blue Chip Casino LLC, Blue Sky Casino LLC doing business as French Lick Resort, Belterra Resort Indiana LLC, Astar Indiana Gaming Company LLC doing business as Bally's Evansville, CSI Operating Company LLC doing business as Caesars Southern Indiana, Centaur Acquisition LLC doing business as Caesars Racing Sportsbook Clarksville, Hoosier Park LLC doing business as Harris Hoosier Park, and Hoosier Park LLC doing business as Caesars Racing Sportsbook New Haven. Approving Order 2023-116 would have the effect of renewing the certificates of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And now you have before you Order 2023-117 pursuant to Indiana Code Section 43866. A vendor's license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $50,000 renewal fee. Each of the following licensees has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment: Unibet Indiana LLC, vendor for Horseshoe Hammond, American Wagering Incorporated, doing business as Caesar Sportsbook for Hoosier Park, Betfair Interactive US, doing business as FanDuel for Blue Chip, Betfair Interactive US, doing business as FanDuel for Belterra, American Wagering Incorporated, doing business as Caesar Sportsbook for Bally's, Crown Indiana Gaming LLC, doing business as DraftKings for Ameristar, and Rush Street Interactive LP, doing business as BetRivers for French Lick. Approving Order 2023-117 would have the effect of renewing the license of each of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And finally, you have before you Order 2023-118, pursuant to Indiana Code Section 433-2415 and 68 IAC Section 26-310. A paid fantasy sports operator license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $5,000 renewal fee. The following licensee has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment. That is SHGN Acquisition Corp. Approving Order 2023-118 would have the effect of renewing the above licensee's license for a period of 1 year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. Any questions of Mr. Neal, Commissioners? Hearing none, is there a motion on orders 2023-1 through 113 through 2023 through 118? Is there a motion for their approval of the license renewals?
I'd make that motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Neal. Mr. Brown, come forward on permanent licenses.
Good morning, Commissioners and Executive Staff. You have before you orders 2023-119 and 2023-120, which would approve permanent supplier licenses for Aces Up Gaming and EDF compliance, respectively. Aces Up Gaming and EDF compliance have filed the appropriate applications and fees and been awarded temporary licenses by the IGC. Commission staff conducted background and financial investigations on each applicant, along with their substantial owners and key persons. Commission staff found no material derogatory information that would affect the suitability for any of the applicants. Staff's final reports are included in the confidential commission meeting documents for your review. Approving orders 2023-119 and 2023-120 will grant a permanent supplier's license for the previously mentioned applicants, each subject to yearly renewals. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
You may continue with suppliers.
What did I say?
No,
Those were the suppliers.
okay, those. I just wanted to point out that Director of Background Investigations is Garth Brown.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Any questions of Mr. Brown? Anyone? Hearing none, is there a motion on orders 2023 1 through 119 and 120?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
And contrary, same sign. There are none contrary. The motion is accepted. Thank you very much, Director. And it's now for Director of Compliance. Angela Button, would you come forward, please, and present our suppliers' disciplinary actions initially?
Good morning, Commissioners and Executive Staff. You have before you 11 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary action against licensed suppliers, 10 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary action against casinos, 5 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary action against sports wagering operators, and 1 settlement agreement concerning disciplinary action against a corporate entity. Order 2023-121 is a settlement agreement with Ainsworth Game Technology wherein the supplier violated the rules for shipping electronic gaming devices. Ainsworth agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-122 is a settlement agreement with Aristocrat Technologies wherein the supplier violated the rules for shipping electronic gaming devices on 2 occasions. Aristocrat agreed to a monetary settlement of $3,000. Order 2023-123 is a settlement agreement with Every Payments wherein the supplier failed to file a level 1 license application in a timely manner. The application was 46 days late. Every agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-124 is a settlement agreement with GeoComply Solutions, wherein the supplier failed to file a level 1 license application in a timely manner. The application was 33 days late. GeoComply agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-125 is a settlement agreement with Gaming Partners International and includes 2 counts. In count 1, JPI failed to file a level 1 license application in a timely manner and allowed a non-licensed individual to perform duties of a level 1 licensee for 347 days. In count 2, GPI failed to file a level 1 license application in a timely manner and allowed a non-licensed individual to perform the duties of a level 1 licensee for 273 days. GPI agreed to a monetary settlement of $16,000. Order 2023-126 is a settlement agreement with IGT, wherein the supplier violated the rules for shipping electronic gaming devices. IGT agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-127 is a settlement agreement with Interblock Luxury Gaming Products, wherein the supplier violated the rules for shipping electronic gaming devices. Interblock agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-128 is a settlement agreement with Patriot Gaming and Electronics, wherein the supplier violated the rules for the vendor log while performing work at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Patriot agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-129 is a settlement agreement with SB Tech Malta Limited, wherein the supplier failed to submit 3 Level 1 license reinvestigation applications in a timely manner. The applications were 34 days late. SB Tech agreed to a monetary settlement of $4,500. Order 2023-130 is a settlement agreement with TCS John wherein the supplier violated the rules for shipping table game equipment. TCS John Huxley agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-131 is a settlement agreement. NYX Digital Gaming includes 3 counts. In count 1, NYX Digital failed to comply with commission deadlines and failed to submit fingerprints for our licensees in a timely manner. In count 2, NYX Digital failed to file a Level 1 license application in a timely manner. The application was 64 days late. In count 3, NYX Digital failed to file a Level 1 license application in a timely manner. The application was 81 days late. NYX Digital agreed to a monetary settlement of $6,000. Order 2023-132 is a settlement agreement with Bally's Evansville and includes 3 counts. In count 1, Bally's violated the rules and their internal control procedures on the bill validator drop process when an unauthorized person entered the drop zone. In count 2, Bally's violated the rules for electronic gaming device movements when they failed to drop the bill validator box prior to performing an electronic gaming device movement. Bally's also violated the rules for manually paid jackpots when they failed to verify a jackpot payout. In count 3, Bally's violated the rules on live gaming device fills on 2 occasions. Bally's Evansville agreed to a monetary settlement of $8,500. Order 2023-133 is a settlement agreement with Blue Chip Casino and includes 4 counts. In count 1, Blue Chip violated their internal control procedures on the emergency bill validator drop procedures on 2 occasions. In count 2, Blue Chip allowed a minor to obtain access to the game sports bar, which is a designated gaming area. In count 3, Blue Chip violated the rules for sensitive keys. In count 4, Blue Chip violated the rules for live gaming device fills. Blue Chip agreed to a monetary settlement of $6,500 in the submission of a corrective action plan for count 3, detailing how Blue Chip will address the issues with the sensitive key alarms and ensure the sensitive key box is fully functional. Order 2023-134 is a settlement agreement with Caesar Southern Indiana and includes 4 counts. In count 1, Caesar Southern Indiana violated the rules for live gaming device fills. In count 2, Caesar Southern Indiana violated the surveillance rules when they experienced a loss of recorded surveillance coverage. In count 3, Caesar Southern Indiana failed to safeguard assets and allowed unauthorized access to the property. In count 4, Caesar Southern Indiana failed to properly license their power of attorney. Caesar Southern Indiana agreed to a monetary settlement of $5,500. Order 2023-135 is a settlement agreement with French Lick Resort Casino and includes 2 counts. In count 1, French Lick failed to notify surveillance when a patron exceeded the multiple transaction log while playing at a table game. In count 2, French Lick violated the rules for the voluntary exclusion program when they failed to properly restrict 5 participants. French Lick agreed to a monetary settlement of $6,000. Order 2023-136 is a settlement agreement with Hard Rock Northern Indiana and includes 4 counts. In count 1, Hard Rock violated the rules for electronic gaming devices when they failed to coin test electronic gaming devices on 2 separate occasions. In count 2, Hard Rock allowed a minor to obtain access to the gaming floor. In count 3, Hard Rock violated the rules for live gaming device fills. In count 4, Hard Rock violated the rules of the vendor log. Hard Rock Northern Indiana agreed to a monetary settlement of $7,600. Order 2023-137 is a settlement agreement with Harris Hoosier Park and includes 2 counts. In count 1, Hoosier Park allowed a minor to obtain access to the gaming floor. In count 2, Hoosier Park violated the rules for sensitive keys. Heritage Park agreed to a monetary settlement of $6,500 and the submission of a corrective action plan for count 2, addressing the ongoing sensitive key failures, as well as ensuring they have internal controls in place to comply with commission regulations. Order 2023-138 is a settlement agreement with Hollywood Lawrenceburg and includes 2 counts. In count 1, Hollywood violated the rules for electronic gaming devices when they allowed multiple electronic gaming devices to be placed into service without a software verification being performed by commissioned gaming agents. In count 2, Hollywood violated the electronic gaming device progressive surveillance rules when multiple electronic gaming devices were placed into service without dedicated coverage on the progressive. Hollywood agreed to a monetary settlement of $15,000. Order 2023-139 is a settlement agreement with Horseshoe Hammond and includes 2 counts. In count 1, Horseshoe Hammond violated the rules for the soft count room when the room was not properly secured and employees accessing the room failed to properly complete the soft count and ingress and egress log. In count 2, Horseshoe Hammond violated the rules for live gaming device fills. Horseshoe Hammond agreed to a monetary settlement of $3,000. Order 2023-140 is a settlement agreement with Horseshoe Indianapolis and includes 6 counts. In count 1, Horseshoe Indianapolis allowed a minor to obtain access to the casino floor. In count 2, Horseshoe Indianapolis violated the rules for sensitive keys. In count 3, Horseshoe Indianapolis violated the rules and their internal control procedures for the poker room, which included violations for chip storage, maintenance of the chip inventory log, improperly trained staff, a violation of table and credit procedures, even exchange procedures, unsecured funds, and multiple instances where they failed to properly follow procedures for tournament winners in accordance with currency transaction reporting. In count 4, Horseshoe Indianapolis violated the rules and their internal control procedures for found money and improperly accepted Tito tickets in a live gaming device drop box. In count 5, Horseshoe Indianapolis violated the rules for live gaming device inventory closers. In count 6, Horseshoe Indianapolis violated the rules for the vendor log. Horseshoe Indianapolis agreed to a monetary settlement of $41,000. Order 2023-141 is a settlement agreement with Rising Star, wherein the casino failed to notify the commission of a sensitive key violation in a timely manner. Rising Star agreed to a monetary settlement of $1,500. Order 2023-142 is a settlement agreement with Bally's Interactive LLC doing business as Bally Bet, wherein Bally Bet failed to notify the commission of multiple terminations in a timely manner. Bally Bet agreed to a monetary settlement of $4,500. Order 2023-143 is a settlement agreement with Betfair Interactive US doing business as FanDuel Sportsbook and includes 6 counts. In count 1, FanDuel failed to properly restrict sports wagering prohibited participants. In count 2, FanDuel failed to notify the commission of numerous terminations in a timely manner. In count 3, FanDuel failed to comply with commission deadlines and failed to submit fingerprints for licensees in a timely manner. In count 4, FanDuel failed to submit a level 1 license application to the commission in a timely manner. The application was 84 days late. In count 5, FanDuel failed to timely and appropriately respond on numerous occasions to the commission during an investigation and supply the requested information. The commission's investigation found that FanDuel failed to comply with commission rules with regard to funding wagering accounts. 8 individuals were able to utilize the Arizona Federal Credit Union card belonging to a retired public servant and his spouse and conducted deposits and wagering with a credit card that did not belong to them. The commission confirmed that the individuals from whom these funds were fraudulently taken have indicated great harm as a result of these activities. FanDuel agreed to a monetary settlement of $110,000. A settlement agreement was presented to the commission at the June 15, 2023 commission meeting for FanDuel, which was not acted upon. The commission instead directed staff to engage with FanDuel further on this matter. These conversations led to additional actions by FanDuel regarding fraudulent activity, and we believe important steps have taken to defer fraudulent activity on the FanDuel platform as a result of the IGC's continued focus on the issue. In your confidential meeting documents, FanDuel has presented legal opinions on this matter and provided the due diligence they have done since the June commission meeting. The FanDuel settlement being presented today includes 5 of the 6 counts from the June settlement agreement. Commission staff is holding 1 count as it relates to account funding, while we further review sports wagering account funding and develop a comprehensive approach to the issue. Staff recommends approval of this settlement. Order 2023-144 is a settlement agreement with Seminole Hard Rock Digital and includes 2 counts. In count 1, Hard Rock Digital failed to notify the commission of multiple terminations in a timely manner. In count 2, Hard Rock Digital violated the rules of their internal control procedures for the Know Your Customer procedures and for verification of a page rent. Hard Rock Digital agreed to a monetary settlement of $3,000. Order 2023-145 is a settlement agreement with Unibet Indiana, wherein Unibet failed to properly restrict sports wagering prohibited participants. Unibet agreed to a monetary settlement of $5,000. Order 2023-146 is a settlement agreement with WSI US LLC, doing business as WinBet, wherein WinBet violated the rules on prohibited participants by issuing marketing to a prohibited participant. WinBet agreed to a monetary settlement of $23,000. Order 2023-147 is a settlement agreement with Boyd Gaming Corporation, wherein Boyd failed to notify the commission of licensee position changes in a timely manner. Boyd agreed to a monetary settlement of $3,000. Relevant details for each settlement agreement have been provided in your meeting materials. Each settlement agreement will also be available on the commission's website following the meeting. Mr. Chair, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Bunn. I just wanted to reiterate and point out that the June 15th meeting, we did table the FanDuel settlement and wanted to thank staff for the continued efforts in renegotiating, all staff, your compliance staff as well as our senior staff here. Commissioners, do you have any questions about that particular tabling and recommitment to the committee today? If there are none, then I'm going to move that, have someone move us that orders 2023 through 121 through 2023-147. Is there a motion for their approval?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or thoughts about that? Hearing none, I'll go for the vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Viola, you ready for the occupational licenses?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
You have before you Order 2023-148 concerning the felony waiver application of Frank Zampese. An individual who has been convicted of a felony may not be granted an occupational license. However, an applicant who has been convicted of a felony may request a waiver if he establishes by clear and convincing evidence that he has been rehabilitated. Mr. Zampese provided testimony about his rehabilitation, demonstrated ownership of past mistakes, demonstrated that this was an isolated incident, and showed that he successfully completed probation. Detailed information regarding this order is contained in your confidential commission materials. Adopting staff's findings and recommendations would have the effect of granting Mr. Zampese's felony waiver application.
Thank you very much on that. Is there a motion on order 2023-148?
Move for approval.
Second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is approved.
Next, you have before you Orders 2023-149 through 2023-153 concerning applications for an occupational license to work for Indiana licensees. With regard to these orders, applicants failed to disclose their complete criminal history and/or had a felony conviction and therefore failed to meet the established standards for licensure. The applicants were given an opportunity to withdraw their applications from consideration, but failed to do so. Detailed information regarding these orders is also contained in your confidential commission materials. And approving orders 2023-149 through 2023-153 would have the effect of denying these applications.
Any other questions of Ms. Viola on those? Is there a motion on orders 2023-148 through 2023-153?
Move for approval.
Oh, sorry, just to correct, 2023-149.
4049. Yep, yes. My apologies. Correct that for the record, please. Can you go forward with the motion?
Move for approval of 2023-149 to 2023-153.
With the exception of that question, and we'll second it.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion is approved.
Thank you. Next and lastly, you have before you orders 2023-154 through 2023-160 concerning settlement agreements between commission staff and occupational licensees. In lieu of disciplinary action, commission staff offered each of these licensees a settlement agreement that would have them agree to an unpaid voluntary relinquishment of their occupational license for a period of regularly scheduled working days with no vacation or other paid time off to be used. Each of these licensees has agreed to the terms of the settlement agreements, and detailed information regarding each of these matters is contained in the confidential commission materials that have been provided to you. Approving orders 2023-154 through 2023-160 would have the effect of ratifying the agreements with occupational licensees.
Is there a motion on orders 2023 through 154 through 2023-160?
I'd make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Ms. Fueling.
Thank you.
Ms. Button? As you know, a few meetings ago, I had requested that department heads give us a little presentation so that we can dig a little deeper, that we have a little better public understanding of these matters. And I appreciate your indulging the chair with that request. It's been very helpful to me, very informative to me, and I think the staff has appreciated the opportunity to participate in that. So you have anything else to say, Mr. Director or Deputy Director?
No, just to reiterate, staff has very much appreciated the opportunity to discuss what they do, not only in the interest of transparency, but also because I think we're pretty proud of our work product.
And kind of with that, I'm looking forward to that presentation. But wanted to reiterate when our former presenters talked about the confidential information that was sent. I had General Counsel speak on that at the last commission meeting. You understand that sometimes there are sensitive personnel matters that we don't disclose to the public, but there's nothing that's hidden behind that curtain that we are afraid to disclose. In fact, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. Another reason for having these presentations so that our public can have a better understanding of the workings of the commission. Ms. Button.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm here today to give you an overview of the Commission's Compliance Division. And I will also just kind of give a breakdown of what the division does and also some stats. And then I am going to talk a little bit about the Voluntary Exclusion Program and our Internet Self-Restriction Program. All right, so kind of broke it down by staff member. So I am the Director of Compliance and I oversee the overall function of the Compliance Division. Part of my role is to consider reports on the disciplinary matters, as you well know. I do provide recommendations on the formal disciplinary action, also the process, all the waiver requests, and then review casino policies and procedures and internal control procedures. I do chair the compliance committee, which is made up of members of compliance, our audit staff, our legal staff. We have a member from investigations and someone from sports wagering, so that we're getting all subject matter experts on that committee to, review all the violations. I also chair the Gaming Enforcement Best Practices Committee. And that is just a group where we instituted best practices for all of our gaming agents back in 2019. And so after a couple of years, we decided it was time to revisit those best practices and just make sure they were streamlined and consistent, and we could, see what we needed to change up. We just want to make sure we're getting a consistent regulation across all the casinos in the state. I also chair the GLI working group. GLI is one of our independent gaming labs that does all of the certification testing for slot machines and sports wagering. And so we work closely with them on any issues that we come across. I do negotiate the settlements for the disciplinary matters that were recommended by the compliance committee. I draft all the settlement agreements, oversee all new casino projects and any transition projects, provide informal support to the casino staff and the gaming agents, and then facilitate any review of new technology requests that are being made by the casino. And then assist the deputy director and with the IGC responsible gaming initiatives, and then also support the executive staff as needed. I have 2 assistant director of compliance team members on my staff. The first one is Dan Shelton. Sorry, my notes are upside down. Can't read that. And he provides, right now, he provides support to both the compliance and sports wagering divisions. He facilitates all review and approval of the sports wagering independent certification letters. And he also does the retail sports wagering internal controls. He does provide feedback on the mobile side of sports wagering just as needed. And then he also currently reviews and approves the mobile the mobile sports wagering promotions. He is also a member of the compliance committee and the GLI working group. And he also does review and approve any live streaming blogger requests we get from the casinos. And then he assists me with facilitating casino requests and reviews as well. And then provides support and backup to all members of the compliance division. The other assistant director of compliance is Jeff Ware, and he is really the table game subject matter expert. So he oversees all table game regulation. He reviews the table game rules and internal controls, and he does any new table game requests we receive, all like the gaming equipment. So chips, cards, dice, he's going to review all those design schematic samples. He also takes care of any of the table game shipments when the suppliers are shipping product to the casinos. He also is a member of the compliance committee. He also prepares the compliance snapshot and provides support as necessary to other members of the division. I also have electronic gaming device manager. Which is JP Mattingly. He is a subject matter expert for electronic gaming devices. He maintains our electronic gaming device system, which is a database we use to catalog all our regulated electronic gaming device equipment. The EGDS also tracks EGD inventory, shipments, conversions, movements on the casino floor. But he does facilitate and review all of the casino independent gaming lab certification letters for slot machines. He provides daily informal support to the casinos and suppliers. And then just to kind of demonstrate how much work there is with slot machines, electronic gaming devices do account for approximately 81% of the statewide casino win. We also have a promotions coordinator, Tracy Sanders, and she facilitates the review and approval of all the casino promotions, including, but not limited to, tournaments, drawings, giveaways, event notices, and just general promotions. She also provides support as necessary to the division, and she reviewed approximately 1,782 promotion and tournament submissions in fiscal year 2023. And the last staff member I have is a responsible gaming coordinator, which was Stephanie Gardner. Greg did mention she's transitioning, but as of right now, she's still the coordinator. She's our subject matter expert for the voluntary exclusion program and internet self-restriction program. She does maintain the databases for VEP and ISERP. She performs all daily tasks for both exclusion programs, which includes data entry, facilitating enrollments and removals at the Indianapolis office, daily communication with the excluded individuals and casino employees, and also the gaming agents. She does process the VEP forfeitures and then facilitates the review and response of all casino patron complaints. And she just provides support as necessary as well. So some of the statistics for the division this is all fiscal year 2023. So we did 46 waiver recommendations, and we did 290 disciplinary action recommendations, reviewed 4 new table games. We granted permanent approval for 5 new table games. As far as shipments and layout schematics approved for table games, we did 324. EGD movements approved 794. And then EGD shipments approved was 2,007. We did 971 independent lab certification letters. That would be for slots and sports wagering both. with the majority of those are slot machine letters. Casino patron complaints, we had 121. We enrolled 470 new people into the voluntary exclusion program. We've had 250 remove. Forfeitures, we did around 54 forfeitures, which is roughly around $147,000. And then we added 105 new members to ISERP, which is the Internet Self-Protection Program. And then we removed 12 of those participants. Some new projects that the division is working on right now. We are finalizing the development of an updated IGC exclusion databases. So currently we do have a current database that only does the VEP. So this database is being updated to include all of our exclusion programs, including VEP, ISERP, and the statewide exclusion program that legal list that legal handles. So I think everyone will be happy with that new product. And once we get it out, which we're hoping the next couple of months, we'll get that rolled out. As I said earlier, we are conducting a review of the gaming enforcement best practices with the best practice committee, working closely with the audit division and executive staff in Terre Haute on their anticipated opening next year. And then developing an IGC request portal with the IT department. And that's basically going to be a one-stop shop for all the requests that come into the commission from the casinos and the sports wagering operators, so that it's all funneling into one location. Also working with the enforcement division to integrate regulatory reports into their new case management system. And then finalizing a responsible gaming audit for the sports wagering operators. I'm not going to go into too much detail on all these stats. I'll let you all just look at that later. And if anyone in the audience wants a copy, they can ask. I will be happy to provide it afterwards. But just to give you, this is kind of from our snapshot, which the snapshot is by calendar year. So basically we do the snapshot internally. We use it for a lot of different avenues for us, but it's basically examining a breakdown of all the incident reports that our gaming agents do at each property. And it just helps give us an analysis of the type of violations that are happening across the state and trends and that such. So I gave you, let me go back for a minute. Didn't mess it up. Okay, this is like a breakdown of just like the total reports done in 2022 and the showing where the bulk, where each report's breakdown was for each property. And then here, this just shows the breakdown by department. So we kind of just like make the department, like segregate out the different departments so we can kind of see where the issues kind of lie. And then, so in each of these departments, it's, I'm just going to kind of tell you, like, these are some of the reports you might see. Some of them are violations, some of them are audits, you know, but they're part of like the best practices. They have to do certain audit reports and things of that nature, but a lot of them are violations. So I'll just kind of give you a Cliff Notes version of things you might see in each of those departments. So for Cage, you might see variance reports, variance violations, and MTL CTR violations, which is multiple transaction log and the currency transaction reporting, failure to safeguard assets, or you know, failure to prepare table fills properly. For currency collection, that's the drop and count process. And you could see, you know, an unsecured bill validator box, patrons in the drop zone, staffing violations on the drop, failure to verify a bill validator box during the count process, failure to follow an approved drop route, a variance in the count room, violations of the count room log. And then like they all have to wear jumpsuits, so failure to wear the proper attire or the jumpsuit, and any like unauthorized access to the count room. For licensing, it could be failure to display badge, failure to return badge, failure to update, failure to renew license, failure to timely notify of a term or separation, and prohibited activities, which could be like a licensee placing a wager. Minors, it's pretty straightforward, just getting onto the casino floor. Security, we have failure to notify of a criminal activity or regulatory violation to the gaming agents, vendor log violations or casino entrance violations, or just improper security procedures. For sensitive keys, we have keys being taken off property, it's keys left unsecured, keys not returned to the key box in an appropriate manner, improper custody of the keys, failure to maintain the key box, or failure to adhere to key alerts that come from the key box. For the slot department, we have manually paid jackpot violations, entry log violations, open door violations, failure to coin test, progressive EGD without surveillance coverage, or like unapproved EGD movements. For sports wagering, we have, you have mobile application malfunctions, you can have retail sportsbook audit reports, sportsbook variances, we have our prohibited participant audit reports, you get duplicate account violations, unapproved events, know your customer, patron verification, gap funding. These are all things we've seen, recently. For surveillance, you have camera outages, camera malfunctions or equipment malfunctions, failure to have adequate coverage, or just failure to notify surveillance. For table games, you could have dealer errors, incorrect payouts, missing cards, unsecured dice or cards, table fill violations, gaming equipment inspections, incorrect table closers, Tito's in a table game drop box, or progressive incrementation violations, or failure to safeguard assets. For VEP, we would have you'll see reports on just when a VEP gets on property, if there's a VEP forfeiture, if the casino would pay out winnings, direct mail violations, marketing violations, if they would pay out, do a credit card cash advance to a VP, or failure to notify VP's presence on the gaming floor, or we also do VP audits as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our exclusion programs, just to kind of give you a quick snapshot of what those look like. So like I said, we have the two programs, the voluntary exclusion program and then internet self-restriction program. So the voluntary exclusion program is governed by Indiana statute 433 and then 68 IC 6-3. The VEP did go into effect on July 1st, 2004. The program is confidential and it allows individuals to self-exclude from all the Indiana casinos with just one form. And currently they have to do these forms in person and witnessed by an IGC designee. An individual can select 1 year, 5 years, or lifetime on the voluntary exclusion program. And it does apply to all Indiana casinos, the 4-1 South Bend Casino, retail sports books at the casinos, off-track betting facilities that offer sports wagering, and mobile sports wagering. The sign-up locations for VEP are at an Indiana casino with the gaming agent, at the IGC office in Indianapolis by appointment, at a designated problem gambling treatment provider, and then once we roll out our new IGC exclusions database, individuals are now going to be able to sign up online with an identity verification check. So we tried to evolve this over the years. So when we first rolled out, it was just, at the casino with the agent or in the Indianapolis office. And we're kind of in Indianapolis, you're bound by the hours, right? So over time, we were able to add the prompt gambling treatment providers. And then that was one thing we really wanted to do when we added our new database, was to be able to incorporate the online piece as well. Now, if they don't pass identity verification, they'll have to go do it in person. So for casino and sports wagering responsibilities as it relates to the VEP, they have to have a process for flagging all the VEPs, and then they have to refuse wagers and deny gaming privileges to the VEP participants. And they need to ensure VEP participants are not marketed to and that they don't receive any direct mail. And they have to scrub all the VEP participants from their marketing list within 45 days of enrollment. They also do not have any check cashing or credit privileges, and then they have to maintain the confidentiality of the VEPs. Following enrollment in the VEP, this is for sports wagering, just should reference. Following enrollment for the VEP, patron will be allowed to withdraw the full monetary amount remaining in their sports wagering account, provided that the sports wagering operator acknowledges that the funds have been cleared. And then sports wagering operators, they have to cancel any wagers made by a prohibited participant and refund the amount wagered to them. So that's a little bit different than the forfeitures that we do at the casinos. Assets in sports wagering accounts at the time of enrollment may be collected pursuant to the policies of each sports wagering operator. So failure to comply with any of these could result in disciplinary action. The VEP's responsibilities, they have to complete the form of their own free will. They cannot be under the influence of any alcoholic beverages, controlled substances, or prescription medication. They acknowledge and agree to not enter the Indiana casinos, South Bend, or participate in sports wagering on the form. And then they also agree to forfeit any jackpot or thing of value won as a result of a wager at an Indiana casino. For removal, a VEP can request removal from the program as long as the length of exclusion has expired. A lifetime participant at this time cannot be removed. So here are just some stats on VEP, and you'll notice these are glaringly different from ISERP, but there's a big difference in the length of these programs. So these are the numbers from inception, and they're like pulled around September 9th, around there. So right now we have around 6,248 individuals on the VEP. And over time, we've removed about 4,287. Now, I will say, just to caveat this, that a lot of people sign up and remove multiple times. So that's not probably a straight 4,200 people. For age summary, VEP, trends at a higher age range. And then for state summary, I mean, it's the bulk of the people are obviously Indiana and the surrounding states. For gender summary, obviously the breakdown here is going to be a little bit more even, unlike ISERP, but so we have about 58% male and 42% women. And then the length of exclusion, it's around 40% for 1 year, 25% for 5 years, and 35% for lifetime. So for the Internet Self-Restriction Program, it's governed by Indiana Statute 438 and CCIC 2713. It went into effect September 1st, 2019, and it applies to mobile sports wagering only. Individuals can sign up for ISERP on the commission's website. So we already have an online piece for ISERP. And individuals for this program can sign up for 1 or 5 years. And then individuals also must pass an identity verification check. So I just want to mention that we really took responsible gaming and having an exclusion program very seriously when we rolled out sports wagering. We'll thank Sarah Tate for that, which I know she's here. So it was really, really important to the commission that we be ahead of the game when it comes to that. So we were the first jurisdiction in the nation to launch a sports wagering exclusion program prior to the rollout of sports wagering. So I think we're all pretty proud of that. And then the sports wagering operator responsibilities. Sports wagering operators have to ensure that ISERP participants are restricted from wagering. They have to ensure ISERP participants are not marketed to or receive direct mail. And same as VEP, lists have to be scrubbed within 45 days. And then we want to make sure they maintain confidentiality of these participants. They are, and then the sports wagering operators also have to acknowledge that they are responsible for the actions of their third-party business partners and contractors as it relates to the prohibited participants in ISERP. And then we also require them to offer a self-exclusion program specific to their operation only. And then failure to comply, may result in disciplinary action on those things as well. For ISERP removal, it's the same as VEP. They're eligible for removal once their exclusion expires. And so for ISERP, we currently have 221 people enrolled. We've removed 19. So as you'll see the gender breakdown, it's predominantly male. And then it's predominantly younger individuals. And then for the states, it's predominantly Indiana with, then a little few outliers here and there. Just to kind of compare, just to kind of show you a side-by-side comparison of VEP and ISERP. So for the age, you'll see obviously that ISERP runs very, very young, and VEP is a bit more stretched out, but it runs towards a more older crowd, which is just the difference in casino gaming versus sports wagering. And then comparison of gender. On VEP, it's pretty, casino gaming is there's a lot more females, it's a more even. But ISERP definitely mostly men on that. So we do require some responsible gaming requirements for sports wagering. And one of those is that they have to have a responsible gaming webpage, and it has to have all this information. We do require them to have the message about the gambling hotline number to be predominantly listed on their webpage. And we also require a direct link to Indiana Gambling Help, which is the commission's responsible gaming, problem gambling website. And they have to also dedicate, show resources for internet resources to help people with might have potential gambling problems. We also require a link to ICER. And we do ask them, even though it's not, I don't think it's written directly in the rule, but we do require them, we have them put the link to the VEP as well. And then we make sure they have a clear statement about their policy and commitment to responsible gaming, along with a link to their, operator self-exclusion program. So for options for help, we have the FSSA has the referral hotline. They also have a texting component where you can text INGAMB to 53342, which will help get you hooked up with a counselor and get you help. And then we have our, as I said, this is the commission website, Indiana Gambling Help. And there are links on that site that could lead someone to a counselor or the two programs that we do, and then any problem gambling resources. It also is a link to a self-assessment test to kind of identify if you may have a problem, and then the hotline as well. And lastly, I just kind of want to mention, I know that Asher was here earlier this year and talked about the problem gambling campaign that we do. So this is just, that is a social media campaign that we use to drive individuals to a certain target age group, and then we want to drive them to our Indiana Gambling Help website, and then we look at that research and that data. And so these are some of the ads that we've used, and we are planning on launching a new campaign soon, right here to correlate with football season. And then we are also going to start doing a new research project as well in line with that. No, I'm just going to say, I forgot the dollar. Do you know the dollar?
The program we're launching now is going to be $650,000 this year, and then another $650,000 next year.
Thank you. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Benton. Oftentimes you just go, who knew? Right? Behind the scenes, how much really goes on. In this highly regulatory industry, compliance is critical. So you look at the book cover and you don't know, right? But when you dig down deep, there are lots of things that are there. I know that our commissioners are delighted to hear more about it. I know there may be a couple of questions percolating. I think one we chatted about generally about how the fines are established and in accordance with what rules. And I don't know, Dennis, you wanted to comment on that in terms of legislation and how those things are determined, because you can see how they vary.
Yes.
And they're not arbitrary.
Right. No.
Sure, Chairman. I'd be happy to address the question. And I think Director Bunton did a good job giving background on how we we hear about these settlements every quarterly business meeting. There's a lot that goes into them. There's a lot of consideration and deliberation among staff. There's also discussion with the licensees, whether it's a supplier, a casino licensee, or one of our new sports wagering operators. The commission has always operated on a fine schedule. It's sort of an objective way to get us to a starting point. All of the fines are the same. We have to acknowledge all of our operators are a little bit different. So we start at the same place. We engage in discussions with the industry, and we arrive at an agreed upon settlement if it's appropriate. And then they're presented to you all for final ratification. You mentioned legislative change. That did occur this last session, and regulatory agencies such as the Gaming Commission and others are now taking schedules like we've had in place and promulgating them into rules. And this will be really good for transparency and notice. We're also promulgating into rule our procedures that Director Bunton sort of described and outlined today. I think this all benefits the state of Indiana. It increases the partnership between the Gaming Commission and our operators, our licensees. And, we look forward to continuing that dialogue. I'd say look forward to our rule probably commencing here in the next few months under the new legislation. And we'll be sure to keep you and the public posted.
And it's clear that the public should know that these fines go to the general fund. No one gets a commission, and no one's being able to operate in a dark room and say we can draw that incentive and make it more difficult than it really truly is. Commissioners, any other questions that you have of Ms. Bunton? Thank you so much. That was very informative, and I hope that our public see that we're trying to be as transparent as we possibly can be.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another presentation today?
We do, Mr. Chair.
It's not on my original agenda, but
Yes, we
that's
do.
belong to me.
I would like to just share a fun fact about Angela Bunton. She has been with the commission over 20 years, and she started as our receptionist. Many moons ago, she worked very hard and earned her degree while at the commission. And as you can see, we entrust her with many important things in the agency. And I'm very happy we've been able to create positions and allow her to grow with us and keep her on our team. And another long-term employee is actually here with us today, Chris Gray. She was a lead auditor with the commission and then also a director of compliance. And we lost her to her current role, where she works throughout the state to engage on responsible gaming initiatives. And we thought it was very appropriate to bring her here today because this is in fact a Responsible Gambling Awareness Month. So welcome, Chris.
Jenny. Good afternoon, or I guess it's still morning. Good morning, commissioners and IGC staff. My name is Christina Gray, and I am the Executive Director of the Indiana Council on Problem Gambling. The council was established in 1996, soon after the first casino opened in 1995. The mission statement of the Indiana Council is that we strive to generate awareness, promote education, and be an advocate for quality treatment of problem gamblers in the state of Indiana. The IGCP, which is our little acronym, does not take a stand for or against legalized gambling, but we advocate for those who have a problem. So we are also an affiliate of the National Council on Problem Gambling. Also, I answer to a board of directors, but otherwise I am it for the council. So on our board of directors, we have people that are in recovery who have had years of time in recovery. We also have treatment providers as well as a representative from all the casinos, including Four Winds. Our funding. I receive annual membership support from the casino, and once again, that includes the Four Winds Casino and also the Hoosier Lottery. One of the grants I received from the state of Indiana is $50,000, and with $50,000, I have to do advertising, conferences, and provide materials for treatment providers. After you heard what the commission is getting, my advertising dollars have gone from $8,000 to now $18,000 in the last 2 years. So my availability to do the ads is very limited. We also have received in the last couple of years donations from DraftKings and Penn Interactive, but I'm not sure how, year to year, if I'm going to be receiving those donations. Our annual budget is $170,000. What we do, first of all, we do awareness, and I do that through advertising, exhibits, community outreach, and social media. In the advertising, I have recently moved to digital because with digital, I can get numbers, which the legislators evidently adore numbers. And also we have a little bit on the radio. We exhibit at different conferences throughout the state. One of our big ones is social workers. We also do community outreach. We've gone and talked to some of the counselors at the schools. We've gone to community centers, that kind of thing. I also visit all the casinos, as well as I'm starting to do the off-track betting sites. We are also on social media. We are on Facebook, and now I guess it's called X. I'm still trying to get used to that. We also do education. Twice a year, I have to put on conferences for treatment providers so that they can maintain their CEUs and be able to be certified as treatment providers for problem gambling. I also advocate on the state and federal level. I have been to the state when there has been a bill in regards to gambling. And also recently I've been to Washington, D.C. to visit our federal legislators to do to pitch the GRIT Act, which is the Gambling Addiction Recovery, Investment, and Treatment Act. And what it would do is ask the federal government for half of the taxes that they get for sports betting to go toward the states. And it would be given out in grants similar to the alcohol. Finally, few numbers and statistics. The Gamblers Assistance Fund was established with the legislation of casinos. A little over $3 million per year has been given to the Gamblers Assistance Fund. 20%, now I am going to put a caveat to this. I did a records request in 2018, soon after I joined the council, and I asked for how that money was divided. When I received that, from 2013 on, out of that $3 million, 20% was allocated for grants, helpline, and administrative costs. 36% went to actually treat problem gamblers. 44% goes for drug and alcohol addiction treatment. In 2019, 3.33% of the taxes from sports betting was added to the Gamblers Assistance Fund. Now I think they refer to it as the Addiction Fund. Of that 3.33%, at least 25 has to go to problem gambling. According to the IGC fiscal year 2023 annual report, from September of 2019 through June of 2023, sports betting has paid a little over $100 million in taxes, with a little over $3 million going to the addiction fund. Problem gambling got $800,000 of that. In 2022, actually, I will tell you, in 2021, the council dipped into our savings to pay for an adult survey of adults in Indiana, because a survey had not been done on problem gambling since early 2000. We felt it was time to get some numbers about problem gamblers. And it was decided at that time that there would be a survey after that to kind of capture a little bit more of how it was when we came out of the COVID. So in 2022, a survey of Indiana adults was done, and it was funded by the Indiana Problem Gambling Awareness Program. IPGAP is what we call it. That is also out of IU, as well as Prevention Insights, who is also at IU. And they found that 89.3% of the Indiana adults did some type of gambling activity. The most common were lottery, and that includes scratch-off, raffle tickets, and card games. And as Angie pointed out, or Ms. Button, males more than females report gambling. 18 to 34-year-olds gamble on video game in-app purchases, Anybody familiar with loot boxes and skins? Okay, and then they also do online, which includes sports betting and video games, while 35 to 54-year-olds gamble on multiple activities, including online sports betting, table games, and lottery tickets. Approximately 2.3% have gambling disorders based on DSM-5, and only 38.8% of the population were aware of the helpline number. And only 0.6% of those with a problem gambling sought treatment. This is an issue in Indiana. At least 2.3 had gambling disorders, and yet 0.6% sought treatment. And as you can tell, with the 38.8% aware of the helpline number, we need to get the awareness and education out about problem gambling. And I just want to bring up a little thing that I find interesting. Right before I left the commission, we did the rules for fantasy sports. Now, according to Indiana, fantasy sports is not considered gambling. It is a skilled event. A couple months ago, the Indy Star had an article regarding a person who embezzled $40,000 from their employer. And what were they doing? Fantasy sports. So I just wanted to point that out. I always have to smile at that. What's next? I feel more awareness. We need to continue with advertisement and community outreach. We need to do more education and prevention, and that needs to happen with discussions with groups and community leaders. We also need to include problem gambling with the school curriculum so that we can prevent problem gambling and certification of more treatment providers. We do not have enough. They're overwhelmed now with all the mental health issues and all of that, because problem gambling treatment providers just don't do problem gambling. They're just like all the other treatment providers. They do a range of treatment providing. And I would really like to have a little help. So I would like to see an increase in the ICPG staff. Finally, problem gambling is a disease, but there is hope in recovery. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very, very much. Well, if we were going to have a fantasy team, you'd be our quarterback.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Do we contact our Congress people about the BRIT Act? And is that intended to be allocated to the states?
Yes, it would be allocated to the states, much like the alcohol is.
Right.
They're done in grants. And the act has been put together, but they're trying to find another sponsor. Right now, there's only one sponsor.
See.
So, yes.
We can straighten out that part of the government. We'd be all right. We get
Yeah.
more sponsors.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, I don't think that I don't want to help any kind of person who has any kind of problems. But one thing that I think hurt us when as far as funding is concerned, is when the federal government did grants, a matching grant for substance abuse. And so it was hard for Indiana to say, okay, we'll give more of that gambling assistance fund to problem gambling, because they're getting a match.
Mhm.
So they have maintained that portion, that 44% to substance abuse treatment.
Oh, thank you so much. I spent part of my penance and at the Lottery Commission, so I see all sides of where it's still a problem, and it's really up to we as public servants to bring these services to those who would abuse the opportunities that they provide. Commissioners, any other questions you might have? Staff, any other questions you might have? Closing thoughts?
If you have any questions, my I did not give myself that email address, but my email address is christinagray@indianaproblemgambling.org.
Christina, thank you so much for your participation. If we have no other matters before the commission, I'll call for an adjournment.
So move.
Second.
We are adjourned.
Yay.